Hi everyone, this is Dan, and this is Do As You're Told, The Ballad of No by Richard C. Meyer, drawn by Kelsey Shannon, and with a couple little pinups here by two different artists. I think this is Kelsey, and this is Harold, what is it? Harold somebody. Yeah, let's talk about this book. This book is, well, let's start off with this, for those of you wondering. This book is better than Pandemic, and I'll just be straight up with that. Mainly because I think your boy Zach does a better job writing this one, and it's actually a complete story, which is kind of nice. It does have a bit of a sort of lead-in to another story, but in terms of what the subject matter and the main character and the narrative with the main character, it's much more fleshed out than Pandemic. In terms of likable protagonists, I don't know. I mean, I guess I like No a little bit more than this chick, mainly because he kind of does more interesting things. I will say this book is more interesting in terms of reading it. It has a lot of, I would say, on-the-nose commentary of modern events. And in that, well, I should say modern events. I should say basically 2020 events, really. And it's, the art by Kelsey Shannon is very good. I will make one point of criticism with regards to this book, and that is this book, I think, would have been a lot better if it was colored. And the reason why I say this is there's just too much, there's not enough variance or gradient in the blacks to the whites for this to be a black and white book. And it just feels off to me. It feels like the word balloons and the captions and everything just kind of blends together. And at times, like, I almost don't even look at the art because I'm just looking for wherever the words are, for the most part. And I feel like this book would have, like, really benefited from just some, like, not complex coloring, just basic flats with maybe like some sort of watercolor kind of finish or filter on it. And that would have made things really pop a lot more. As it is right now, I'm not really a fan of the decision to make this black and white. I think personally Kelsey's art would have been way better served with some coloring here. Again, I'm not sure why Zach decided to go that route, and whereas in Pandemic he did color the book, but it kind of hurts this book in my opinion because I don't really like, the art doesn't pop like Kelsey Shannon's work on other books, like on Nora Saga and the one part of Jawbreakers that he did. The art really pops, especially with the flat coloring, and you kind of feel his style more. In here, like, yeah, I can see, especially in the faces and stuff, like this is Kelsey Shannon for sure. But just having it black and white, especially, there's no shading layers and there's no zipatone in this, so it's just a very brushy look, very like Bill Sienkiewicz-like, I guess, like you could say. And the thing about that is that it just a little bit of color would have really helped this book more. Otherwise, honestly, I don't really stop to look at anything in this book. And I don't. It's not because I think the art's bad. It's just I just kind of burn through it and read what's going on. And the black and white does at times makes it a little bit of a strain on the eye to kind of make sure you understand who's saying what. Again, I don't know what's going on with Zach, but he's turning into Blake Northcott here. Very dialogue driven. I mean, pretty much everything is just dialogue driven. Everything's dialogue driven, and there's a couple, I guess, poignant. I guess he was trying to make a joke or maybe make a point or something, and it's a little on the nose for me personally. I know he was trying to experiment with both of these books and be like a little more political. But in my personal opinion, I don't think I'm going to buy another political book from Richard Myers. They're just this whole Theosophy thing just doesn't interest me personally, and I think I'm just going to stick with his more superhero action-oriented stuff. I'm hoping this style that he's trying to do here doesn't leach into Jawbreakers or Iron Sights or Impossible Stars, which is his latest one, just because it just doesn't interest me. And his way of approaching it just isn't really as entertaining. I will say this, that this was more, I guess, enjoyable to read than Pandemic. I was kind of very annoyed reading this book and finishing it, just because there's just not much to it. But this book actually does have some meat to the meal that you're getting. I will say this though, still not worth $15. $15 is way too much for this. I like Kelsey Shannon and I like your boy Zach, but this is way too expensive and it is going in the absolute wrong direction for what he should be approaching right here. This book, if colored, I would say it's definitely $5. $7 would be a stretch. Honestly, both of these should basically be the same price as Allegiance Arts. Probably lower for Pandemic because it's not even a complete book. This really should have been a lot more for what he charged for it, but you know, it is what it is. I'm not gonna go over that. I kind of went over that in the Pandemic review. What I will say though is that if he offers it as a bundle, and you're able to pick up these two for like $10 or something like that, I would say it's worth it for $10 for these two books. For $15 or $25 or $30, absolutely not. Totally not a recommend. So anyway, that's pretty much the review in a nutshell, very quick and sweet. So let's get to the art. So when I was kind of looking back at my last couple pages that I did, is I was kind of like, you know what, I'm kind of always making like, you know, faces, right? And people just kind of reacting to each other. It's almost like art that is just built to deliver dialogue balloons. And I kind of wanted to focus more like, you know what, I need to think about how do I tell a story with pictures, right? So this one I kind of focused on like, if I had no balloons or anything else like that and just sound effects, you know, how could I tell a story, right? Well, technically, I have one dialogue balloon in here, but yeah, you got sound effect right here, you know, a hand reaching for a door, you know, ding dong. It makes you kind of think of a front door of a house. Open up, here's the neighborhood, and here's a little sweet Girl Scout, you know, offering those freaking addictive cookies. And here's No, basically doing what he does best. Boom, there you go. And this is, when I was done with this, even though I'm not necessarily happy with the art, like especially No, like I don't know what I did here. I just tried to draw too fast. And the anatomy is all jacked up, and then his hair is really bad too. Though I guess maybe I could fix it in inking. I don't know. But the rest of it, I'm actually kind of happy with this because this is actual sequential art. You're telling an actual story here in 4 panels. Whereas the other stuff, it was more like something that would be part of like 20 or something pages, right? So yeah, well, not happy with the art. I am happy with more the focus on storytelling. Rather than on trying to show really pretty pictures and action scenes, which I'm probably going to do for the next review, which will be Return of the Warrior, and She, the Amazing She #1. I think this is Way of the Warrior, which is what he started, which I'm kind of excited to do a review on. But anyhow, that's the review. Let me know what you think. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Hit the bell for notifications. You got any comments on Do As You're Told, the Ballad of No, or this art? Leave it down below. And I will see you next time.